This is Julian Valderrama, and I'm the author of Blueprint for Immortality, the Quantum Code for Life Secrets to Success. The name of this riff, the real reason we do not have success. There's yet another lesson we can derive from Moses' conversation with God. Moses expressed apprehension in the form of self-doubt. He said, "Pardon me, Jehovah, but I have never been a fluent speaker, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. For I am slow of speech and slow of tongue." At which point, God offered training, emphasizing that it was him that could allow him to become better in his speaking ability. How would you feel if you were offered personal training from such authority? Yet Moses still showed self-doubt. "Pardon me, Jehovah. Please send anyone whom you want to send." We all deal with various forms of self-doubt and fear. This may cause us to lose out on fantastic opportunities to create what we want. We may have beliefs about ourselves that we are not good enough. This may completely take away all desire to continue learning. So even though we may acquire powerful information and training from perfect, trustworthy, and reliable sources, we still will not do anything and would rather hide than experience something better. Our fears, many times, will overpower our own desires. We may want something and know exactly how to get it, but we will come up with every possible excuse and cling to it like a life jacket anchor to the seafloor. We may also truly believe that we have real limitations. But through the field of quantum physics and other reliable sources, we will prove without question that they are just that, excuses based on fear. We will also show how fear is literally killing you and your loved ones. There is scientific evidence that this is true. But alas, have no fear. Through the pages of this book, we will learn how we can progressively overcome fear. Napoleon Hill has been quoted as saying, quote, "Whatever the mind of man can conceive and bring itself to believe, it can achieve." His statement has tremendous weight since he's known as a powerful and reliable source of information that creates real-life success. And it is no wonder, since he had personal mentorship from Andrew Carnegie, one of the biggest business tycoons of his time. It is estimated that Mr. Andrew Carnegie, toward the end of his life, accumulated a net worth of almost $300 billion, calculated to today's market. It could almost be said that Napoleon Hill was Moses and Andrew Carnegie his God. Obviously, the previous statement is just to illustrate the importance of learning from people who themselves had a mentor, someone with more evidence than the immediate source. And on a side note, to this day, I continue to meet people who are ultra successful, who suggest I read Napoleon Hill's works, mainly Think and Grow Rich. As a real life example, the last person who told me to read and reread that specific book drive what it seemed to be a brand new Rolls Royce, or maybe it was a Bentley. Please really think about that idea. You will notice that certain common denominators begin to arise as you learn from people who have exponentially more research in a later chapter. Please really think about that idea. You will notice that certain common denominators begin to arise as you learn from people who have exponentially more success than the average person. We will examine with scientific background research in a later chapter why physical manifestations that we can see and touch are undeniable evidence of proper personal scientific experimentation. So let's tie it all together. We discussed that even though many of these stories found in the scriptures may not be widely accepted as true, there are strong moral lessons in them that we can apply for ourselves. We can examine these stories through the scientific method and test the results that are promised within the lessons. We may be surprised that, like expert scientists using the scientific method, we will experience and see real life benefits. Our unbiased experimentation will propel us forward as long as we do not prejudge without giving this process true justice. So, like Moses, let's dedicate our lives to realize exactly where we stand in relation to our current knowledge, and maybe admit that since we have so much to learn, we may need mentorship. Looking for people who have powerful evidence that we can see and touch and experience with our full senses will let us know what we may be doing wrong if we are experiencing frustration with our goals. We do not attribute all success to material things, but to the ability for us to be able to see in real life the ability of people to create physical manifestations of their original thoughts. There is background research in the scientific arena that proves that this procedure is exactly what happens when people achieve goals and desires. It is precisely what is required to achieve success. And these concepts are what will progressively be developed through the pages of this book. Now let's move on to revealing the scientific, empirical evidence of what we are talking about. Okay, this is the end of this riff. I highly suggest, if you have not already done so, to support this channel by buying this book that is being read to you. Life is a Game, The Quantum Code for Life's Principles for Success, and my previous volume, Blueprint for Immortality, The Quantum Code for Life's Secrets to Success. Also, go ahead and put a like on this video if you feel it is valuable. Also, share this with loved ones, friends, and this will help raise awareness of this kind of life-changing knowledge. So consider that, because what you do for others, you do for yourself. What you fail to do for others, you also fail to do for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also go ahead and put a comment below if you feel you have any questions, comments, or observations. I certainly love to read that from you. Let me know, what did you like best and what you got out of it, of what you heard today. And don't forget, life is a game, and this is the quantum code for life's principles for success.